it's clear and you understand, because nobody's in here about more titles and stuff. That's nothing. Really, all he got is more work. So I appreciate you receiving it, but he's already been functioning in that role now. But it needs to be official. Everybody needs to know. You can't contact the pastor who you want to call. So that's important. We owe you that information. And he will be able to square you away. All right. Well. So, I'm sorry, can I have that wasn't aware to them. All right, okay, we're going to continue on with the, and that's part 2 of the sermon from last week, those of you that were here. So if you would, please turn to John chapter 11. We're going to do a brief review and then we're going to go forward. Because when we're talking about, the title also for this is For the Glory of God. For the glory of God. And we've talked about the story of Lazarus, and Jesus to me made an interesting comment because, I've heard and I've taught it different ways, but when I looked at one thing, because we theorized about why Jesus allowed Lazarus to die, he waited before he went. But all I had to do is look at 11:4. Jesus explained why he did what he did. Because when Jesus received, Gospel according to John chapter 4, or chapter 11, verse 4. So when Jesus heard that, when he heard that Lazarus was ill, he said, the sickness is not unto death, but for the glory of God, that the Son of God might be glorified through it. And we know Jesus waited 2 more days, and Lazarus died. But Jesus went to his hometown after he had died, and comforted the people. He went through explaining to Mary, he did all the comforting. But then he announced that he was the resurrection. Then he called Lazarus forth from the grave. And I had to talk to some people before, and I don't take this as the gospel, I stay away. But, I theorized that maybe Lazarus, even though he was dead from the natural, it's a possibility Lazarus was already alive in the grave and just waiting to manifest. Now, that's me. I'm not saying that's, I'm not rewriting the Bible, but that's the power of Jesus, because he said his sickness is not unto death. So from Jesus' perspective, he never died. Now what does that mean to us? Now situations, if we're in him, our situations never die. We never get to a point where we're dead and separated from him to where he can't reach and get us. What we have to do is be aware to come forth from the dead situation when we hear the voice of the master. We have to know the voice of the master to do that. So for me in situations, if I stay in a dead situation, then I need to listen to the voice of the master because I shouldn't be dead now. So that's why I theorized that. But Lazarus did, to stick to the scripture, Lazarus did come forth from the grave. But I'm thinking, well, wait a minute, Jesus just rolled him on the stone, and Lazarus could have just walked out. Think about it, rolled stone away. He could have, he was already up, he could have just walked out. But Jesus made that pronunciation because we looked before he had manifested. And one of the things that led me to believe that is Jesus said, talk to God. He said, I already know that you know what I wanted. You've already granted it. But for the sake of the people here, I'm going to say these words. So those words are not, Jesus' word wasn't what the power that brought him out of the grave. That wasn't what resurrected, because Jesus had already desired. He stated from the beginning before we ever got in the situation that this is not unto death. He just spoke the word so that the people could hear. All right. See, it's things that we see that's done spiritually, and we hear the words just to enable us to become more aware of what's actually been done. Because if not, that's not God. If God said, well, I got to do this, do a magic handshake and say these words or read this chant or this incantation. Demons do that. Cult folks do that. Manipulators and mind control people do that. Get to repeat stuff over and over. But what we have to be aware of is that God is glorified in a situation irregardless of whatever circumstance we see. He's never not glorified. God said, I'm going to give you the privilege of being aware of what I'm doing. So now we see Jesus as resurrected Lazarus. That's a review for those of you that may not have been here last time. So we're going to look at the after effects of this glorification of God. Does anybody here, before I leave, that ever do anything great for anybody, and you don't really do it to expect positive, a pat on the back and all this, but instead of a pat on the back, it's like, all hell breaks loose. Like I only did something good, and now it looks like it's getting worse. Who do you think he is? It happened. I used to call it spiritual suicide, or feeding upon spiritual cannibalism. Who Brother Dave think he is preaching like that? Who is you? I'm a pastor. He ain't supposed to be preaching and looking and acting better than me. The people like him more like we do that. We don't want to admit to it. We're going to see what happened, because there were two reactions here after Jesus had performed this feat, this resurrection of Lazarus. We're going to start at verse 45 of chapter 11. 45 and 46. And this is after, I read 44. And he who had died came out bound hand and foot with grave clothes, and his face was wrapped with a cloth. Jesus said to them, loose him and let him go. So Lazarus been raised from the dead. He told people, take off the grave clothes and let him go. Now, let's look at 45 and 46. So then, many of the Jews who had come to Mary, had seen the things Jesus did, believed in him. See, sometimes people are going to see the manifestation, the glorification of God, and they are going to believe in the Son. He said many believed in him, because I understand the crowd of people that followed Mary to the grave, so they saw what Jesus did. So many believed. We must go on. 46. But some of them went away to the Pharisees and told them the things Jesus did. That was pretty interesting. Some believed, some went and told the Pharisees what Jesus did. If you understand, during this context, Jesus had been in actual conflict with the Pharisees. The Pharisees, people we talked about before, really sought to stone him on a number of occasions. So the people that's telling the Pharisees, they're not going bragging like, look at this great thing Jesus did. You don't go to somebody's enemy and tell them about something there, and you're really trying to edify them. They weren't doing it to give Jesus props. They weren't doing it to help Jesus. They weren't doing it to bring edification or glorification to Jesus. They were telling these people, look, he's at it again. Y'all need to know he's at it again. So that's amazing, because one thing, I'm something that digress a bit though, but sometimes the Easter story, and I hate to refer to it as the Easter story, and that's to read this whole event leading up to the crucifixion, which was the ultimate, was the resurrection, was the ultimate glorification of God, is presented like it almost was a series of accidents, a series of circumstances that were beyond anybody's control. But actually, when you read through it, and I will caution you to read through this, I've been to cover a lot. And hopefully on Easter Sunday, Resurrection Sunday, we'll talk about it. These were carefully orchestrated events. Because Jesus knew when I do one thing to fulfill prophecy, to fulfill God's will, I must do one thing which is going to lead to this other thing. And as Christians, we don't need to be blindsided, like, okay, as I go out here doing things to glorify God, why am I putting on all this drama? We got to understand our path is already predetermined. There's certain things we do to glorify God. We're going to run into certain opposition. Somebody's going to run into a Pharisee. The demon's not going to stand by and just let us tell, oh, let us run in the mouth. Let's see what we can do. They can put some IEDs out there, some spiritual IEDs, some distractions. They never want to see God glorified. They don't mind us going to church. No, they don't think they're less about us coming to church. You just don't want us to take the church out of this building. Anywhere else. Y'all just sit right there and do what you do right there for a couple of hours. I don't want to hear from you anymore. I'm not going to tell the Pharisees. We need to put a stop to this. We need to be aware of that, because when it happens, we will already be prepared. But the glorification of God is not going to be like all hunky-dory and then everything. Oh, well, that was like great. Let's celebrate. That's why y'all can't wait till the next time. No. The Pharisees will be told. They said on The Simpsons, the hounds will be released. There will be challenges to glorifying God. For those of you who don't know Mr. Burns, who've never watched The Simpsons. But when you went on Mississippi territory, you would say to the people, release the hounds, get them, chase them back where they belong. Okay, so we see that the people also went and told the Pharisees. Now let's look and see how the Pharisees reacted to this news. In verse 47. Then the chief priests and the Pharisees, wait, I'm in the right place? Yes, I am. Thank you. I'm glad y'all know where I am. Then the chief priests and the Pharisees gathered a council and said, what shall we do? For this man works many signs. They're talking about Jesus. In verse 48, if we let him alone like this, everyone will believe in him, and the Romans will come and take away both our place and the nation.
All right.
So now they say, if we leave him alone, now first that question, what shall we do? For he works many signs and wonders. But see, this one, the only thing, they're like, well, he's raising the bar. You know, I know he's healed a few people that are doing that, but he's not raising people from the dead. They're like, wait a minute, we got to do something about this. Because they are putting it in the context, Lord help me. You have to understand, at that time, the Jews, Israel was an occupied country by the Roman Empire. They were occupied. I think we're all aware of that. Now, this council, we're talking about the council, the chief priests and the Pharisees and all that, they made up an organization called the Sanhedrin Council. Now, the Romans occupied it because the Romans just wanted to conquer. And as long as you didn't bother them and just paid them, you know, it's kind of like the mafia. As long as you paid them, you could do your own thing, as long as you didn't challenge Roman authority.
Right.
You can stand on your head, you can do whatever you want.
Right.
You just will not challenge Roman authority. Now the Sanhedrin Council, as far as the Jews were concerned, they were like a combination, those of you in civics, they were like a combination of the executive branch, they enforced the laws, they were like legislative branch, they made the laws, and they were the judiciary, they interpreted the law of Moses. They ran things. If you were a Jew, the Sanhedrin ran things. But you understand, the Sanhedrin didn't want anything happening in their nation that would upset the Romans. Because the Romans look, if you don't control this, we will.
That's right.
And I can tell you, brothers, so we were telling you the Romans were excellent at imposing their will on other folks. They're like, okay, we're going to let you chill. We're not going to get involved with this until we find out you can't handle it. That's what got the Sanhedrin upset, because they said, wait a minute, this guy here raising people from the dead. People are going to start believing in him, and we won't be able to control him or them.
All right.
See, that's the last thing. See, that's what, as Christians, we're not even designed to be controlled. As believers, there should be no control mechanism except for the Holy Spirit. We got to be out of control. At least they were enough aware of that. If we let this continue, they're going to be out of our control. And the Romans are going to get upset. And you see, the first thing they were concerned about, so they would come in verse 48 and take away both our place and the nation. So they're going to take our place, they're going to just disband us, we have no authority, and they're going to take control of the people and run the people ourselves. In other words, Sanhedrin is going to be out of business if they didn't do something about Jesus. That's what led up to the crucifixion. Basically, we got to do something about this. So they're highly upset. Let's read on. Verse 49 through 52. And I can tell you, this virtually blew me away, because I've never seen this. Y'all bear with me. Hopefully, God, you got to reveal it the way I feel you revealed it to me. But let's look at verse 49. And this is what they just said. The Romans will come around. This is what the council was saying, and the Pharisees. We let him alone, everyone believe in him, and the Romans will come and take away both our place and the nations. And the nation, meaning the control of the people. Now look at verse 49. And one of them said, and one of them, Caiaphas, being the high priest that year, said to them, you know nothing at all. I found that very interesting. He's rebuking the Sanhedrin Council. He's the high priest. So y'all don't know nothing at all. I mean, that's the word. Everybody by reason they never see, y'all don't know nothing. He's rebuking them. And this way it really got, you know, I've read this in every Bible I got, every version of the Bible I got. It says, you know nothing at all. This is Caiaphas still speaking. Nor do you consider that it is expedient that one man should die for the people, and not that the whole nation should perish. Caiaphas is saying it is expedient to give one die and not the whole nation.